Brand new purple light, friends. Brand new purple light, friends. Facts. Brand new purple light, friends. Red and blue, purple light, friends. Facts. You can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light. To the family. Peace, love and light. To the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Welcome to another episode of Third Eye Thursdays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, Brother Red Pillar. And that song that you just heard, that is the Facts remix from the 44 Tops, y'all. That is the Facts remix from yours truly, the 44 Tops. Shout out to the 44 Tops. Make sure if y'all don't have that album, y'all go and buy me a coffee and order your album. You will get a digital download. And we also have the physical copies for you. That is 7 songs of pure cosmic soul. If you like the first song, you're going to like all of the songs. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and check this out real quick.
Gil, let me say it this way, and I don't support system. But I think that one of the things we have to learn, in order for me, I hope I'm speaking to two gentlemen, and this is for parents, our parents. You can't fight the teacher and learn. There's a discipline in study, and we have to learn. The damage has been done to us and still being done, but we ourselves got to take this. With all the bad things that go in the classroom, and I went through it, you got to be able to count, you got to be able to write, you know what I mean? You got to know science. You got to be able to equate and evaluate. And you can't fight the teacher doing it. Parents can't come down to fight the teacher. That teacher get them out of the neighborhood. We have to go.
New technology, y'all. New technology. We have our music embedded to our flow. We have our music embedded.
Teachers teaching. The ancestors. Brand new purple light, brand new purple light, friends.
With us, man. Trying to tell you, get with us, man. We're trying to bring you into the future respectfully. You know what I'm talking about? Let's go ahead and do the roll call. See who's in the building. Let's go ahead and do the roll call and see who's in the building. Shout out to my dude Tizo in the building. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to Tizo. Let's go ahead and do the roll call and see who's in the building. All right. Queens is in the building. Shout out to Queens. Shout out to Chi-Town. Shout out to Charleston in the building. Shout out to North, Las Vegas. We got Indianapolis, which is Naptown. We got Los Angeles in the building. Harlem in the building. VA in the building. Massachusetts. All right. We got Malawi in the building. Northridge in the building. You know what I'm talking about? Cali in the building. Harlem in the building. Bmore in the building. San Jose, Flint, Virginia, Naptown, New Bedford, Bradenton, California, Bmore, all right, Greensville in the building, AZ in the building, Mississippi in the building, Columbus, Ohio in the building, Cincinnati in the building. Great show with Radio Rich. If y'all have not seen the show that we just did on Black Magic 363, me and Blue Pill, make sure y'all go and check that after this. All right. We had a classic. It was a wonderful show. Chicago, South Suburbs. Shout out to all of the people who are new here, who came here from Black Magic. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We have a goal. We want to reach about 100,000 before the end of 2025. We're at 17,000. We've been building this page up, subscriber by subscriber by subscriber. This is our backup page after they took our main page. So make sure when you in the building, you subscribe and you hit that button, because there's no telling when we will go live. We've been going live randomly. We had a Wisdom Wednesdays yesterday. Shout out to everybody that was there for Wisdom Wednesdays. Check that out if you haven't seen that as well. We were going in on Wisdom Wednesdays, speaking about Shannon Sharp, speaking about our good brother Gilbert Arenas, and we're going to do a little follow-up on that story, because some interesting details are emerging in that story that I want to speak of. And we were also speaking about Jeff Epstein. We did a deep dive on a Jeff Epstein, and we will also follow up on that as well today. All right. So as you've been seeing with these shows, there have been continuums, conversations that we are basically tying together and, you know, continuing the conversation, breaking it out into pieces and whatnot. So as you notice, tonight is part 4 of the state of hip hop. All right. The state of hip hop, part 4, because it is a gift that keeps on giving. And I promise you, we have not even covered half of what it is that we need to cover. Believe you me when I tell you there is so much that needs to be spoken of and examined and unpacked. All right. So yeah, let's all do this together. This is the Leo season. As a matter of fact, it is in Leo retrograde. All right. It is a Leo retrograde. Yes, Gilbert came home. You know what I'm talking about? Same day type shit. You know what I'm talking about? Gilbert came home to his beautiful wife. You feel me? Yeah, that part. Gilbert is messing around allegedly with the mafia. Allegedly. The Russian mafia, who happen to be Jewish or Israeli and whatnot. I think he really needs to be careful moving around. I have a humongous announcement that I'm going to make tonight on the show. I have a large announcement for August. August is about to be lit. August is about to be lit. August is about to be lit. I promise you, on everything, on God. August is about to be lit. We took a break in July. I don't think we did any classes. We did the triple AI workshop, which will go into August as well. We're on week 4 on Friday. You could pay for one class. You don't have to pay for all of them. class tomorrow is going to be a combination of all of the triple AI tools, which is automation, agentic AI, and APIs. We're going to be bringing them all together underneath one quote unquote collective roof. And then the next week or the next Friday, we are going to be building out our triple agency app. All right. Marcus Morris just got jammed up. I saw that. The big red alert, though, is what's going on with Gilbert and these mobsters. I was told by my barber today that he has a Netflix special. They have a documentary on him on Netflix called Shooting Guards, right? And Shooting Guards is about the situation that took place in the NBA with Gilbert Arenas and quote unquote and the guns, right? He was accused of bringing a gun into the locker room, which cleared out the whole locker room and subsequently got him suspended, and another young man got fired. Okay. And another young man got fired. So that's an interesting story. And then right after that, he gets locked up. You know what I mean? He gets taken down and whatnot. So we're gonna be paying it. We're gonna pay attention. I definitely got to see Kwame Brown and a few other people talk about all of these things that are going on. I was watching Shot 97, the Star show, and he was talking about the Kwame Brown response. So I'm gonna have to check that out and see what's going on. Gilbert registered a lot of trademarks. Okay. Gilbert's story is very interesting. I didn't know his background. I found out a lot about it just watching a little bit of the documentary. I'm going to watch the whole documentary. Before we even begin the show, we're going to be doing some announcements. Let's just do the announcements right now. Let's get that out the way because we do have a jam-packed show. It's going to be filled up with research, a lot of video playing and whatnot. We're going to be pulling content and building on it and whatnot. Let's go ahead and get us a word from our sponsors, and then we're going to go ahead and cook up in the kitchen.
Trumpet sounds of golden harps. I saw in these crystal balls of lightning.
Definition of a crystal: order, symmetry at the biological level. Melanin is a complex crystalline biopolymer. It is found in the nuclei of all cells, and concentrations of melanin may be found in the brain. Melanin is that X factor that opens up those subtle realms and means of communication. Again, intuition, clairvoyance, clairaudience. Yes, I.
Crystal balls of lightning, thunder in different sort, 4 and 20 oceans around this spot. It was very cloudy, earthquake over the north and the south side, seraphim thrones and.
That's my shit right there. All right. Once again, the reminder that we have the AAA workshop. All right. We have the AAA workshop that is coming up as soon as tomorrow, mañana, Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern, Zoom only. All right. Zoom only. This has been a smash hit for all of the students who've been pulling up and getting this game and whatnot. We also have the triple AI bundle for anybody that wants to get acclimated to this AI boom that's taking place. We have the triple threat workshop. Make sure y'all tap in with that. All right. And let's get this going.
Triple ATM Master Workshop. Build and deploy the AI empire. Behind the world's next billion-dollar companies, the ultimate 4-week certification to dominate the age of AI with automation, agentic systems, and monetizable APIs. Stop being a spectator in the AI revolution. Build your own automated empire, deploy autonomous agents, and monetize your stack with real APIs in 30 days.
What if you could hire a 24/7 team of employees, developers, and marketers without paying a single salary? Welcome to the Triple ATM system, a complete AI, automation and API training and deployment ecosystem for modern entrepreneurs, consultants, digital creators, and business owners who want to own the infrastructure of the future. In this 4-week live virtual master workshop, you'll go beyond prompts and ChatGPT and engineer the AI stack that powers high-profit, hands-free businesses.
All right. Make sure we see you in the building tomorrow. Take full advantage of what we're doing, because chances are we won't be coming back around to do this afterwards. This train is going to leave the station, and we're going to be building on and moving on to newer things, right? One of the big announcements that I want to make right now, real quick, I'm going to play this video and then we're going to make the announcement. Let's go and see what the president has to say.
Are unaware that behind the scenes, the technical backbone of the financial system is decades out of date, many, many years out of date. You know that. Paul and others are straightening it out, but payments and money transfers are costly and take days or even weeks to clear. Under this bill, the entire ancient system will be eligible for a 21st century upgrade using the state-of-the-art crypto technology. Who would have thought we would have been saying that?
So Donald Trump got on and said today, right? Tomorrow, well, really today, but tomorrow, which is August the 1st, they're going to shift the system. There's going to be a new monetary system. I'm believing that they're going to begin an incorporation of the crypto and the blockchain. As a result of that, we're not reactionary over here. We're proactive. As a result of that, we decided to bring one of our alumni back to the platform for our Patreon August cycle. Every month we do a workshop / masterclass. This month, we want to make the announcement that we are bringing our brother, none other than Chicago Crypto Block Bully, to the show, to the Zoom only masterclass. All right?
To this day.
The name of this workshop is Pay Me in Crypto. It's going to be about 5 to 6 hours. We are going to be bringing our good brother, and this is Stream Chasers presents Chicago Crypto Block Bully. And what does that mean? That means that we're going to be talking about nothing but money. We're going to get to the bag. All right. We're going to be getting to the baggington. Okay. Let me read a little description of the event so everybody could get any questions answered. Join us for an electrifying evening at Chicago Crypto Blockchain Bully. I'm going to just call them Blockchain Bully for short. Okay. Blockchain Bully for short. Breaks down the secrets behind building generational wealth in the new digital economy. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just beginning to explore blockchain, this workshop will change the way that you see money, technology, and independence forever. What you will learn: how the blockchain is rewriting the rules of finance, practical strategies to earn, trade, and build wealth in crypto, the psychology of digital assets and the future of decentralized economies, why now is the most critical time to understand tokenomics, NFTs, and DeFi. This is not a lecture. This is a masterclass in financial sovereignty and a roadmap to the next economic revolution. Who should attend? Entrepreneurs, students, forward thinkers that are ready to leverage the blockchain and cryptocurrency, content creators and business owners looking to integrate crypto payments, anyone who wants to understand how money is evolving in real time. We have an early bird special for $99, limited seats available. Secure your spot before the prices rise. Hosted by Stream Chasers, leading the wave in tech education and digital monetization, aka the evolution will be digitized. Don't miss this chance to step into the world of digital wealth. The future is here.
To this day.
I'm very excited about this. I am very excited about this. I've been having some restless nights just thinking about this whole crypto wave and the bull run that's coming. You know, I've been in the bear market for far too long. I've been fighting cocaine bears. I've been fighting bears like Leonardo DiCaprio and Reverence and whatnot. I've been battling bears, my niggas, and I'm ready to ride with the bulls. You feel me? So I'm ready to ride with the bulls. I got a lot of bear scars on me and whatnot, but I got a bear fur in the closet as well. So it's time to step out and get into this bull market. It's an early bird special, meaning that in 2 weeks, we will be doing this workshop. It's going to be 5 to 6 hours. We're going to teach you how to make multiple income streams the right way, the legal way, the crypto way, as this government adopts it on a global scale. So this is no longer underneath the table. This shit is right on the thing. A lot of us have been fighting a lot of BS in the market, like rug pulls, losing wallets, all type of stuff. I could give you horror stories when it comes to this crypto. However, the best person disqualified in my book, in my humble opinion, who I hear people regurgitating his cloth on channels, financial channels like EYL and whatnot, and other places, is our brother Bitcoin Bully. He's the one with the most integrity, the most persistent, and he has the most quote unquote wins. If there's anybody in the quote unquote audience that is a part of our hedge fund, know the hedge, right? I need you to inbox me because we have an emergency meeting that we need you in the building. We need y'all to be in the building tomorrow. So hit me up. I'm going to drop the email. That is anybody who joined us last year. You know who you are, right? I'm making the call out. It's time for us to make a move with our finances. And yeah, I can't say too much on the YouTube because they hate on stuff like that. But yeah, let's tap in on a private channel and let's talk about our private business. All right. Everybody who has taken a Bitcoin Bully class, put an emoji in the chat. This man has been creating millionaires, and I promise you there's going to be a billionaire coming out of this community who did the right thing, who listened to how the brother laid it down, who went and took his classes and his workshops and got early in the game. Early in the game. Salute to all of y'all. I'm speaking that into existence. I'm speaking that into manifestation. Speak it and it shall be, correct? So there is somebody out there who has touched a billion rocking with our brother Chicago Crypto Block Bully. Facts. You know, facts. So for everybody who's taking classes, this is the continuum. We not going backwards on shit that he already taught. We are going from Donald Trump's announcement on August 1st tomorrow, moving into a new world. That's what this workshop is going to be focusing on. The new world, the new world's economy, the new world currency. And we're going to not just be talking about teaching, we're going to be talking about how to get to the bag, because that's what everybody wants right now. Keyword in cryptocurrency is currency. Keyword in cryptocurrency is currency. So the best person who's qualified in the world, who I rock with and I know personally, I'm bringing him to us in 15 days. Let's act accordingly. Facts. And the bonus to it all is going to be AI meets crypto, because I'm bringing my AI knowledge. I'm bringing my AI quote unquote formulas. I'm bringing all of my AI know-how to our good brother who has all of the crypto know-how. So when AI and crypto meet one another, that's going to be on August 15th. Okay, so we're going to vibe code DeFi apps. We're going to show you how to vibe code a DeFi app. We're going to show you how to vibe code NFTs. We're going to show you how to vibe code a quote unquote a Web3 app on a blockchain. You could vibe code. Do you know what vibe code means? Okay, for anybody in the audience that's not familiar with vibe code, Vibe coding is it's the new way of building no code apps, meaning that you could build a mobile app, you could build a website, you could build anything that you have in your brain without having to know technical languages, computer languages, or code. It's a large language model, so you speak English to it, and it does what? It vibe codes. It builds it automatically, automated, right? Yes, we are definitely in the fourth and the fifth industrial revolution. We are here. So me and the God is collaborating, and it's going to be a movie. Be there, or I'm not antagonizing anybody. Just be there. You feel me? Be there. Because it's dangerous to be square right now. It was cool to be square, but I would not even wish that on my worst enemy. To be square, the level of FOMO that people are about to get, the level of depression that people are about to get because they're stuck in the old world and whatnot, and they don't have any crypto and they don't have any backup, and they got to watch people celebrate and floss on them. We don't want that to happen to us. We don't want that to happen to us. Make it your business to be there on the 15th. If you can't make it on Friday, get your ticket and watch the replay. Get your ticket and watch the replay. It'll be available for my top tier Patreons. It'll be available for my top tier Patreons only, and everybody else is invited as a ticketed member and whatnot. But we're going to start our Discord as a result. We're going to have a Discord for this. We're also going to be doing a follow-up on the workshop as well. Like I said, we brought the brother on the platform in 2017 before, and then we introduced him to Black Magic, and he's been making his rounds ever since, changing people's lives. So the party must continue. And with that being said, let's get into this episode of Third Eye Thursdays. Real quick, let's play that Trump clip again.
They're unaware that behind the scenes, the technical backbone of the financial system is decades out of date, many, many years out of date. You know that. Paul and others are straightening it out, but payments and money transfers are costly and take days or even weeks to clear. Under this bill, the entire ancient system will be eligible for a 21st century upgrade using the state-of-the-art crypto technology. Who would have thought we would have been saying that?
Yeah. So they're getting ready. They're making moves. They're quote unquote positioning themselves. Keep in mind, they're all positioning themselves. They've been making chess moves to put themselves in the right place to catch the windfall. Chicago Crypto has been doing the same thing. The ticket is $99. Thank you for asking. I told the brother I'm not trying to make him a cheap ticket because he's worth 10 times that. I had to plead with the brother, and we agreed that we're going to have that as an early bird special. The price will go up. The price will go up because at the end of the day, the brother is worth. We have to respect people on their value levels. But for right now, he was able to bless me and say, all right, 99 for the early bird. But you know that, and I got you, brother. We good. So once again, take advantage. Take advantage. Take advantage. The link is in the description. Where's my mods? I'm going to drop the link right here. This is the Eventbrite for you. Okay. And do your thing. All right. Do your thing. It's only $99. You know what I'm talking about? Not to say that everybody got it like that, but if you don't got it like that, you could definitely get it. He's going to give you $1 million worth of game. Facts. And that's not just a hyperbole, because literally those 8-hour lectures that he did in 2020, 2021, 2022, literally when he was telling people about XRP, when he was telling people about Solana and all of that, those are $1 million assets right now. He over delivers. He over delivers. So check this out. This is going to blow your mind.
Add also a comment to what Tina said about the change in personality, depression, and all these things.
read the caption. Keep in mind we're on YouTube, so there's certain things that we can't go deep into, but I want y'all to see this. This is in other news right now as we lead up to the main topic of the night.
Add also a comment to what
this is the vegetable samosa. This is the hors d'oeuvres.
Add also a comment to what Tina said about the change in personality, depression, and all these things. This is very real, and we have identified the reasons from the theory, and some doctors in Italy have, some pathologists have confirmed that the spike protein unfortunately attacks and destroys also the endocrine system. So the glands producing hormones, and hormones are what make our emotions and feelings and all those things. And so an Italian pathologist near Venice, he went on a newspaper telling that all the brains he had investigated, he found the pineal gland completely destroyed on all the people who were vaccinated. Okay, so the spike protein is also very dangerous for the endocrine system. That's why people have these changes in personality. And
I'm gonna play that again
on a newspaper telling that all the brains he had investigated, he found the pineal gland completely destroyed on all the people who were vaccinated. Okay, so the spike protein is also very dangerous for the endocrine system. That's why people have these changes in personality. And
man, how many people, by show of hands, know peoples whose personalities changed after the Jabberwocky? How many people have noticed in their work spaces and whatnot, and people who, are co-workers started to change and whatnot? How many people have noticed that slight change and people becoming a little more cold-hearted, a little more unattached, a little more desensitized? Have you noticed it? Have you peeped it? He said that the pineal glands are completely being decimated, right? Pineals. That's crazy. Let us continue. This is an update to the story that we broke on Melanin Monday when we were talking about the situation with the dude who powed in Manhattan, right? The Manchurian. Why do I say that? Because I am wary of anybody. Let's play this clip and then let's talk about it.
Major update about the shooting in Manhattan yesterday. It has now been confirmed that the CEO of Blackstone Real Estate Income Trust, Wesley LePatner, was killed in the shooting. Blackstone Real Estate Income Trust is a subsidiary of the larger Blackstone Financial Manager, which you might have heard of because they have been buying up single-family homes across America and artificially increasing housing prices for the entire country. If you haven't already, go watch my previous video because we theorized that an executive was killed based on how the media was already portraying the narrative of what unfolded yesterday. And now, despite the fact that we know that a CEO was killed, the mainstream media, most of the articles are telling you that he was targeting the NFL, despite the fact that the NFL isn't housed on the 33rd floor where he went to go shoot someone. And right now they're burying headlines about the CEO being among those killed, and they're downplaying her position in the company. I will be meticulously following this story and calling out the mainstream media for trying to paint a different narrative.
Right. So this is my thing before we even talk about the whole hypocrisy or the blatant, what's the word? Like, they've been, yes, Blackstone, Saturn is on retrograde, right? Saturn is in retrograde. Leo is in retrograde. There's 5 planets in retrograde. Blackstone is the company that owns half of Atlanta, by the way. Okay? When I came to Atlanta to get a house in 2022, the amount of hoops that I had to jump through to get housing and shelter and a house in Atlanta made no sense. I knew something was going on, and I came to find out that it was Blackstone behind everything. And they literally have this city in a headlock, right? They have it by the balls. You know what I'm saying? Pause. He went and knocked her off. He knew where he was going. But this is where my suspect comes in, because he fit all the descriptions of what is known as a Manchurian, right? Let's think about it. Let's think about it. If somebody goes on a shooting spree, why the hell are they killing themselves? Like, let's really think about it, because this is the modus operandi of all of the quote unquote all of the shooters that are considered to be controlled, right? Manchurian candidate. If anybody's ever been in a gunfight, or if anybody has ever been in a situation like a shootout where your adrenaline is flowing, you don't deter to taking yourself out. That's not on your mind. The situation with him is not, I understand crimes of passion. Crimes of passion is a whole different thing. You have these triple and double homicides and whatnot, and it's crimes of passion. That's a whole completely different thing. But when you go on a mission and whatnot, and you're taking out CEOs and you're taking out quote unquote ops and targets, you would do what Luigi did. You would just get locked up and be a legend. What the hell are you killing yourself for? It doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. The only way that it makes sense if that's a Manchurian and they have control of that person's mind. Did you see the cameras of him walking into the building? He was walking into the building and he didn't even turn around. That's not a nigga trait. Niggas don't walk because you fear the headshot. You notice somebody might run up on you and blow your brains out. You're walking with an AR in the middle of the city? You didn't turn around. I don't even see homie with the tactical type. I would have walked backwards. My dude is looking like a scene out of Heat, right? And they said that he has CTE. That's the cover up. Remember, the same dude that blew up they got blown up in the Tesla in front of Trump has CTE. The CTE is the new quote unquote go-to and whatnot. He's looking like a GTA player. Don't be fooled. Antonio Brown is on a payroll. It's not CTE. He was going to knock off the CEO. He knew what he was she knew what he was doing, and he knew who he was going for. So you mean to tell me you get all the way to the 33rd floor, you got an AR, and you're not taking out everybody possible and going out in a hail of bullets? You drove the BMW from Las Vegas to Manhattan the same way that the homie drove the Tesla, the same way the homie drove the truck and ran down goddamn Bourbon Street. It's a crock of shit. It's not real. We're looking at Gemini Man / Manchurian candidate / something else. Okay? That's what we're looking at. How do you shoot yourself with an AK? Right. Like, come on. What are they selling people? And then right after that, they got the whole Shannon Sharp thing in the news and everything. For he going to the NFL, a black man, Asiatic. He looked Asiatic. He's going into the NFL, on some, I'm mad because I didn't get drafted. He got CTE, but he wasn't playing for the NFL. He wasn't playing for the NFL. This is not an ex-NFL player. It doesn't make any sense. That was a script that they were reading from. They don't want any copycat killers, so they buried the story, and they don't want you to know that he took out a quote-unquote head of $1 trillion fund.
Breaking news, we have a major update about the shooting in Manhattan yesterday. It has now been confirmed.
And we just brought up Cosmo Settenrock. If anybody was familiar with the alternate, what was my brother's name? What was his real name? He was in Baton Rouge. He took down 3 police. He looked exactly like that in his picture. They had a a close circuit television image on him, and he was walking with machinery. He was walking with military grade weaponry. It was 2021 or 22. What was my dude's name? I know that his righteous name is Cosmo Setenra. I even have his book. Who's familiar with that story? So these look like Manchurians. No, not Chris Darner. Cosmo Setenra. He was in Baton Rouge. He was avenging Alton Sterling. And he was avenging, he made Alton Sterling a martyr. And his name is, Cosmo. His name is Cosmo, right? He used to have YouTube. He had a YouTube channel and everything, and he had books. He was conscious. And he took out 2 popo and was like, yo, I'm making these brothers martyrs. They're no longer victims. I'm elevating them to martyr. Alton Sterling and Philandro Castile. Who remembers that? If you don't, well, let me go and show you. That's why we got good old Google. Gavin Long was his name. Gavin Long was his name, right? Damn, they done scrubbed the internet of this whole shit, bro. Look at this. That's crazy. They done scrubbed it, right? So this is Gavin, right? These are his books, right? These are the laws of the cosmos way. These are his books, right? And this was him. He took 3 of these dudes down, right? And that's what he was walking with. Okay. But as you can see, they scrubbed it. They don't have a lot of it. Oh, there you go. See? That's the picture that I was talking about. They literally have him walking with this pitch with the blicky out, right? And nobody stopped them. You know what I'm talking about? And he was ex-military too. All of them are ex-military. You feel me? Mika X was ex-military. He was ex-military. Everybody's in the damn military, and they wind up snapping on some goddamn whatchamacallit. They wind up snapping on some Manchurian shit. But yeah, this is a string. This is a string of incidents that we have to pay attention to, because a lot of these people are part of the sleeper cell programs. You feel me? They're part of the sleeper cell programs. Let's continue down the rabbit hole and check out some more things and whatnot. This right here is very interesting. Check this out.
Hello, everybody. This is Sheena. So today I'm in Monticello, Florida, and I am standing in front of another oak tree. Now this oak tree right here that I'm standing in front of, I don't know much about. So I'm still getting information about this oak tree, but I'm getting different information. So when I read online about this oak tree, some people say it was used for lynchings, and some people say it was just used for people to put ribbons on it to let the town be aware. Let the town be aware that a lynching occurred. So as you can see, there is a courthouse right here. A lot of times there is a lynching tree close to a courthouse to continue executions, court order executions. There's also a jailhouse not too far from this courthouse and this tree that I'm going to also show you all later on in the video. It's a 2-story building that was built in 1847, and it's still standing right here in Monticello, Florida. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Monticello, Florida, and lynchings. Businesses closed every Thursday, and slaves were hung on this tree. Businesses still close every Thursday here in Monticello, Florida. Stores and merchants would stay open.
Real quick, so when people want to know why is there floods? Why certain places that only have a lot of Caucasians, these trailer park places, why are they having flash floods? Why are there tornadoes? Why are there all of these freak things that are taking place, right? Because these people are continuing their rituals. Nothing changed in the South, in the deep South, in places where they shed blood, in places where they had these genocides and whatnot, all these Holocausts. They're still keeping the quote unquote spirit cooking going. They're still keeping that energy going by having rituals like every Thursday they take off of work. Or you niggas is celebrating Thanksgiving, which will reinforce their quote unquote spells and whatnot. Or, you know, we singing songs and shit like that. You know, all of these things that people willingly are doing is what's keeping the spell going. It's what's keeping the curse going. It's what's keeping the body count of our people are cursed. So our people are the protection is being removed. So the babies and the innocent and a lot of people are suffering for that karma and the inactiveness. So the fact that niggas are killing each other and not doing anything and not teaching and not activating the grid, that is backfiring, and those places turn into quote unquote those cities or those areas, the Baton Rouges of the world, the Lafayettes, the Texases, the Georgias, and all of it. They become open air cemeteries, killing fields, you know, movie sets for horror shows and horror movies. And it's like, you know, they're just movie sets. They're horror movie sets. And the spirits are unsettled, and the spirits jump into people. The spirits might even jump into a quote unquote a redneck who's eating a lot of pork, who have a lot of entry points for spirits to jump into them. Those unsettled spirits will take over that husk and turn that husk into somebody that will drive up and shoot a black kid jogging, or a little child, or grab a sister off of the Tinder app and chop her up, you know, shit like that. That's what's going on. And this sister right here, she's freeing a lot of spirits. She's waking up a lot of dormant spirits. She's quote unquote breaking a lot of chains just by reporting on it, just by shedding light on it and teaching on it. And keep in mind, as the woman, as the quote unquote first teacher, watch and see her magic. Watch, let me show you this right here. And this is only something that a true teacher, a nurturer can do.
From 12 to 14 hours on Saturday to accommodate shoppers because they would close on Thursdays for lynchings, to be there to witness a lynching. So we do know many slaves were lynched on this tree. Some people say it was, they were spectacle lynchings, so lynchings for entertainment, for leisure time. A lot of times when the business is closed on Thursdays, the employees were excited because they got a day off. So this is their day off on a Thursday to go and enjoy their break and watch a lynching. We do know that a lot of court-ordered lynchings were executed. So just got to find out some more information. It's hard to find some of the townspeople here to talk about Monticello. A lot of them do not want to talk about Monticello, Florida. I went online and got some information about the lynchings that occurred here in Monticello, Florida. Monticello was built on cotton. A lot of people are also telling me that the tree that they use for lynchings on Thursdays has been cut down. But I don't even know where that site is. So I'm still looking for the site where that tree was located. If anyone's from Monticello, Florida, and you know something about this tree and the history of this tree, please comment below so we can have a better idea and we can know more about this tree and more about what it was used for. So this is the tree located in Monticello, Florida, right in front of the courthouse. That's on the side over here. But this tree is not as thick and as big as most oak trees that I recorded and did videos on. I'm not sure if this is the tree, but like I said, I'm gonna look for more information to see if this was one of the lynching trees used here in Monticello to lynch black people. So this is the old jail. It's now a museum. So when I read about it, it said that it was built in 1847. Right here it says it was established in 1906. I do know that this jail is not far from the courthouse. I just drove here and it took me like a minute to get here from the courthouse. I was told by one of the locals who did not want to be on camera that this is the jail where they would lock people up for petty crimes and walk them all the way from this building all the way to that part, which is where the courthouse is right behind this building right here. And then I was also told by one of the locals that behind this part of the jail is the part where the females were kept, which is here. That little small building right there. But they said that the arrest of females was very rare. And we all know who were being arrested. Black people. For petty crimes. So some were even accused of crimes that they didn't even commit, but they still were locked up and put in jail, and many of them were lynched.
So when we come together on Stone Mountain, for anybody that tries to, you know, and I promise you, I don't even know, I wouldn't even give it the time of day to even entertain. I have so much going on, going through my ears and feeding my brain. I would never even sit around and listen to somebody critique what it is that we might be doing on Stone Mountain if they never did it with us, right? You could talk about it if you went up the mountain with us, but if I never seen you on the mountain with us, if you never experienced what love felt like from your people, how could you critique it? However, when we get together, when we gather and we go on places like Stone Mountain, where they lynch people, where they were hanging people, where they were enacting all type of ceremonies, that's how we offset that type of energy. That's how we, quote unquote, affect that type of energy. That's how our spirits gather and fight that type of energy. Remember, wars going on higher principality, spiritual warfare on higher principality. When you step foot on sacred land, the sacred part of you, the unseen part of you, the quote unquote spiritual part of you, it's in war mode, okay? And it will go to war with the other spirits that are on that quote unquote land or on that ley line and whatnot. So while you're, you know, you might wake up feeling aches and pains, you might wake up with scratches, you might wake up with like a crook in your neck and whatnot. Yeah, your spirit was at war when you were asleep on the astral realm, and it was like the Matrix when he was getting banged up and whatnot, and he was getting banged up, and then when he came back into Zion and whatnot, he had aches and pains when he woke up because he was going to war on higher principalities. So there's a war going on outside, but it's on a spiritual realm. It's higher than what you see in the physical realm again amongst man. So you'll go and talk to a redneck dude in one of these towns, and while they're smiling at you, trying to give you a fake grin at Cracker Barrel, your spirit is having a quote unquote duel with their spirit. And then sometimes it's so unbearable that you can't fake the quote unquote fake ass code switching. You can't fake the accent. You can't fake any, you know, you'll just have a disposition towards that person and be like, get up out of my face. You know what I'm talking about? Or they'll begin to snap on you because your spirit is whooping their spirit, or their evil spirits, or their slave master spirits, or their slave, or their because it's really demonology. We giving it all of these colorful terms, but it's just demonology. It's really, you're dealing with warlocks. You're dealing with quote unquote spirit cookers. You're dealing with what we would call Luciferianism. That's what you're dealing with, Luciferians, because a hanging is a ritual. A hanging is a ritual. What happened with Crumb? Please don't say no crazy shit about homie. A hanging is a ritual. Okay? That is a ritual. That's a ceremony for the other side. That's almost like a drill. A hanging that they do at those oak trees. I went to the oak tree in South Carolina. I touched it. I felt it. I hugged it. I took pictures over there. It's called Angel Oak. I literally touched it and I could feel the quote unquote lynchings that took place on it. The tree is crying. They got a tree in the middle of like a hood and whatnot. I went and touched that. So I know what those trees feel like. I hope he wasn't dissing Stone Mountain. He was invited by me to come to a workshop and be a part of it, and to wake up early and get his ass on the mountain. You know what I'm talking about? So if anybody was trying to diss the mountain, it's because their alarm clock don't work. And I would be mad too if I woke up and see what the fuck was going on that mountain. I would, you know what I mean? So I pray and hope that that's not the case. Please don't make it that. You know what I mean? That's the first time I ever heard something like that. And I'm going to just keep it very demure. You know? Very demure. Yeah, lynchings was like a family affair. The whole demonstration in Harlem with Sinetta, was he had printouts of a book, right? Which was a coffee table book called Without Sanctuary. And it was all dealing with postcards, right? Postcards of lynchings. And Sinetta blew up those postcards, and he would have them as 11 by 17 laminated pictures where European who would come into Harlem on some old tourism type shit, or they'd be walking through Harlem, or you'll have a Becky walking through Harlem with her Shannon Sharp, or you'll have one of our sisters bringing their Snow Kings around. They wouldn't want to look at that shit. It was like garlic to them. It was like kryptonite to them. But at some point, you got to acknowledge what took place on this land to our people at the hands of people that look just like you, who are on the postcard literally smiling. So a picnic is really a pick-a-nigga. A barbecue was when they was burning us. A picnic was called pick-a-nigga. They was picking niggas. Hanging was the disco party, right? And then they would cut the phallus off and pass it around and whatnot and put it in where? A pickle jar. So you mean to tell me that that's not white voodoo? You mean to tell me that that's not white necromancy? That's not occultism? That's not Crowleyism? That's not vampirism? What do you mean? They're just giving it, they're covering it up with that white sheet, and they're putting you in this fake ass, fearful, but they're not talking about the Holy Quran. They're not talking about what's inside of the Holy Quran, which is the Ku Klux Klan's Bible and whatnot. They're not talking about their ties to the Satanist church and whatnot. They're not getting into all of that. So whatever spells, so imagine if you in the Ifa or whatever the African traditional systems that they have, they sending goats up, they sending chickens and roosters and pigeons up. So what happens when you send a man up who is probably a shaman? What happens when you send a fucking chief of a goddamn tribe up? What happens when you send a landowner or a businessman or a fucking mandingo? What happens when you send 10 of them up on a rope? And you're doing all type of seances and shit like that around them. Where? In the woods, because it's in the woods. A lot of the rituals take place in forested wood areas, dealing with wood, dealing with sticks, dealing with water, all of the elements. That's what you find in these quote unquote lynching stories. They were committing, they were doing rituals, high level rituals, right? They call that the trophy room. The same way that they got fucking brown bears on their wall, brown deers on their wall. I read this in Exhuming of a Nation that the Moors had wrote. The brother Swift, what's the Sheik Swift Bay? He broke down. Okay, you got your ticket. Everybody that got their ticket tonight for the Chicago Crypto Block Bully, let me know. I'm gonna make sure I even have a gift for y'all. I'm gonna have a gift for y'all just off of the love of you being proactive, because that's the type of energy that I'm on. I'm on that proactive shit. I'm popping out and I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. So all of that shit where they hunting game and whatnot, all of that game is dark. It's brown. They go in the forest, they go in the woods, and they shoot down black bears, brown deers, black boars. I'm talking about raccoons and whatnot. If some shit popped up that it was light skinned, they wouldn't probably shoot it. You know what I mean? So all of that game hunting is practicing for taking down the copper tone indigenous Indians or the Aboriginals who were hunted down like bison and quote unquote bulls back in the days. They hunted down the Moors like bulls. They hunted down us in America like bisons. You feel me? It was similar, but all of those are depictions. Those are zoomorphic depictions of a black feral fertile man, right? They over there knocking down elephants. They knocking down gorillas. They knocking down lions. We're tied into those quote unquote animals. Those are our animal totems. And they said some of us would even turn into those quote unquote animals in the wild and whatnot. You got your ticket too? Salute. I'm going to take care of all of y'all mañana. I got everybody's email. So just keep on getting your tickets, and we're going to make this a movie. The brother Bitcoin Bully, he will be on the show. More than likely, Melanin Monday, he will be on the show, and we're going to be dropping it. Y'all got to wait till the 15th to hear from him. He's coming on the show. We about to cook, my G. I promise you. We going crazy with this. Facts. So a ticket for what? The ticket for the crypto, this right here. You might have just came in the room. A lot of people just came in the room. We were doing our commercials earlier. We have a workshop coming up on the 15th, which is a Friday, 8 p.m. to midnight. Pay me in crypto. Y'all can even make that date night. You know what I'm talking about? You and Bay. Get dressed up and whatnot. Pay me in crypto. You know what I'm talking about? August 15th. Stream Chasers present. That means when you hear Stream Chasers, that's bag talk. That's bag talk. That means we get into the bag. Now, we ain't doing all of that. We get into the money. That's on Nip's birthday. It's even, man, thank you so much. When I do the promotion and the marketing for it, I'm going to lay it with Nips. I'm going to do the ritual, and I'm going to wrap it in Nipsey. You know what I mean? First song is Victory Lap. Because it's a victory lap. Chicago Bitcoin Bully, it's time for us to celebrate him, because it's a victory lap. How long are we going to just keep on watching him teach and whatnot and not celebrate him? I know he want to take a vacation. He been putting in consistent work and whatnot. I'm about rewarding. I'm about adding value to my contemporaries who are out here cooking. That's my job. That's my job, to reward. Yeah, and Nip is the crypto god. Remember, he's the crypt Jesus. You know what I'm talking about? But he's not the crypt Jesus. He's the crypto Jesus. You feel me? That's Nip. So we're going to wrap Nip. We're going to wrap the spirit of Nip in this demonstration. We might even have him open up for us. I need the likes to get up. You know what I mean? All of this sauce that we dripping. I did my research. I done compiled all of these videos for y'all. The least that you could do is hit us with the likes. Now that we are pivoting, let's do a little pivot now that we're talking about the land, and now that we're talking about the quote unquote grid, and now that we're talking about our people, which is the only thing that we should be focusing on, we the people. Anything else is a distraction. Anything else is giving your energy away. Anything else is just dodging what was really good. And it's really the power in the people. We need to be focusing on the effing people, bro. The power is in the people, man. So shout out to Bully for focusing on the people and building the people up and taking some people out of poverty with his lessons and his teaching. But let's check out our indigenous people. Check this out.
Somebody was like, sis, we believe you, but we just want to know, why do the DNA tests keep coming back from West Africa? Y'all talking about 23andMe and Ancestry.com? Those are the only DNA tests. And they tell you when you do that, that is for entertainment purposes only. And if you want the real answer is that they don't have a sample from American Indian DNA. So when you get American Indian DNA, they reroute it and say you're from West Africa. That test is made up. It is not corroborated by any government. You cannot trust 23andMe and Ancestry.com is who y'all asking me why the test keeps coming back incorrect. Your genie, if you take that test to the Creek tribe or any tribe and you say, hey, this test says that I am from, or any African tribe, and you say, hey, this test says that I'm from here, they're going to say, well, do you have any legal documents to prove that? Since I had to apply for a tribal card, I know that. But since y'all don't know anything, y'all think that the DNA test from 23andMe and Ancestry.com can tell you where you're from. Y'all, please, come on now. Only legal documents can do that, and I have done the legal research for you. In 1662, you were enslaved through the law, the baby follows the belly. That's America before the United States was formed. In 1682, the Virginia law tells us who is to be enslaved, North Africans and American Indians. In 1856, the Dred Scott decision defines the difference between the two groups of people enslaved and says that those two groups of people are the same color. One person is from the American continent and one person is from the African continent. Those people were all freed in 1865. You are the product, the children of those women enslaved. So you are either North African or American Indian, but you're a mixture of both.
Hello.
And that's per law. The law trumps DNA. DNA didn't exist till 1953. I just traced your lineage as American Indians and indigenous people to North Africa since 1662. Hello. So either you believe the truth or you keep following 23andMe and Ancestry.com. Listen to yourselves. Those are not credible sources. It's time to start thinking critically. Hello. What proof do you have that you are from West Africa that is corroborated and is not for entertainment purposes? This might be entertainment, but this is not for entertainment purposes. Everything I do is backed up by law.
Talk about it. Talk about it. Right? Moving forward, for the month of August, they call August Black August. So for August, I'm going to be bringing on people to the show so we could go deeper down the quote unquote rabbit hole dealing with the American gods. You feel me? Dealing with the American gods. You feel me? We're going to be dealing with the American gods. We're going to be bringing more chiefs on the show, more people who could break this quote unquote spell and bring nothing but receipts. Check this shit out.
Is an imposition from the federal government. Blood quantum is an imposition from the federal government that has been used to weed out Native Americans. So the whole idea of U.S. federal policy has been to assimilate Indians, to rid themselves of the Indian problem so that land and resources could be obtained, right? Mm-hmm. And so blood quantum was one way that the U.S. government could do that. So if you didn't meet what they thought was some kind of purity test, then they could write you off, right? But that is not how many Indian nations view tribal citizenship or membership. And I think one of the major issues that American Indians have is that we are often stereotyped into this picture. And if we don't fit that, then we're not legitimately Indian. When you first met me, what did you think? you think, well, where's her brown skin? Where's the feathers?
Well, are you 100% Native American?
No, absolutely not.
Are you 100% Native American? No, absolutely not.
What percentage are you?
And that's let's talk about that. And it's not about race. So I'm Polish.
I'm Polish.
And Choctaw.
So half and half?
Something like that.
Cynthia Ann Parker is probably a good example of that, right? Because she was 0% Native American, but was purely Comanche.
Right, absolutely.
So, yeah, this bitch says she's half Choctaw and what? Polish, right? So they just making shit up, you know what I'm talking about? And people are on their ass, pause. People are on their tails, you know what I mean? And a lot of shit is coming to the surface. So we got to continue kicking down these doors. And yes, we will be sending out invites and we'll be sending out requests and we'll be inviting multiple scholars onto the platform to keep, quote unquote, decoding and busting this, quote unquote, myth out of smithereens so people could get these motherfucking these gems so they can have better talking points and we could know in our hearts, not think, but know that this is our land, our more land. And I have to give credit where credit is due. Some of the first people in my experience, in my quote unquote walk of life, in my journey of learning about man, know thyself, it was the Moors in New York City, in Brooklyn and Harlem, right? And there's been other, there's Moors everywhere teaching and waking people up. Chicago, Philadelphia, Baltimore, I'm talking about Detroit and whatnot, all over. And yes, I would say that Asir carried it. Asir was carrying it, and he was definitely, he's become the face of it. Before I met Asir though, when the Moors were in Brooklyn doing their thing and they were teaching people, about their true history, their heritage, and their quote unquote hidden story, right? I have to give it to them. And just the fact that they were asking people what their nationality is. They were challenging this quote unquote misnomer called black, right? They were identifying what jurisdiction was. All of these things. When I got into Noble Drew Ali's writings, when I got into Noble Drew Ali's predictions, when I got into what was going on in the 1920s, bro. When I was listening to Hakeem Bey and reading all of his, because Hakeem Bey had multiple pamphlets and books. He was an author. Early Taj Tariq, early C. Freemanel, early Ras Mariah Bey, even Ali Muhammad. There's so many of them. Sabir Bey, Abdullah Mosley Bey with the etymology. I never even heard the word etymology before he started talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So these are the harbingers. I used to sell for Hakeem too, right? Remember, Hakeem will bless you with all of his quote unquote literature, and each pamphlet was blowing your mind. Alim Bey, right? Azazel, Azariah Bey, who was some of our suppliers of books and pamphlets and information and knowledge. I'm never going to shame or make anybody feel like they have to give homage to the people that I'm giving homage to. I'm telling my story. I don't know how other people came across. When A.A. Rashid would bring us to Philadelphia to Black and Nobel bookstore, and he introduced us into that whole Muslim world with the Moors and the Muslims and that, bro, blew my mind. I was hungry for the information. Yafa Bey, not Myra, the sister Myra, not Sister Myra from Black Magic, who was on Know the Ledge. She used to be with us back in the days, and she had her own blog talk. No, I'm talking about Myra L. right? She made transition. She was the one who really was bringing the paperwork to the community. You know what I mean? She was the one bringing the thorough paperwork to the community. Yafa Bay, Zodiacus Bay. Like, there's so many Moors that put in mad work, and people like 50 Cent are trying to destroy the legacy of the Moors with these depictions. Now, once again, here's a disclaimer. It's been told to me, Nature L, not Nature Boy, Nature L. It's been told, Uriel Bay, Rise in Power, Uriel Bay, right? Who was writing tomes in Latin and whatnot. A straight beast with it. My brother who went to Germany, True Master went to Germany and proved the quote-unquote Bavarian Moors. He showed and proved that we was all in Germany. And then Knowledge Born Allah brought A.A. Rashid, Black Dot, and all of them to Germany to do the lecture. Legend. You got your ticket? Y'all are legends. Everybody getting the tickets. Y'all are legend. We're going to do a roll call at the end of this class and whatnot. But check this ish out, and we'll get into. Now, they were gangster Moors. There's El Rukins. We know about the El Rukins with Jeff Fort. There was gangster Moors in Chicago. There was gangster Moors in St. Louis. They said Jerry Lewis Bay was a dirty Moor. There was Moors that was moving weight. There was Moors that had jet planes and whatnot. There was Moors that they got big Fed cases. You don't got no jurisdiction to pop my trunk. There was Moors that was using the quote unquote getting money off of their Social Security, and they were basically flipping that shit, right? There's Moors that was getting to it. But the Moors descended into piracy. Then they descended into all type of shit when they fell from their lofty position all the way back in 1400s. They became mercenaries. They became pirates. They became motherfucking they was jackboys and whatnot. They started moving, you know what I mean? Then after the fall of the temples and whatnot, after Noble Drew Ali made his transition, later on down the line in the 1900s, you have Moors. Pimpin' Ken is a Moor. Pimpin' Ken is a Moor. All come, you know, but I would you call them dirty? I would call them dirty the same way that they have 5%ers that was bringing crack to quiet towns and tie it down. I love me some Raekwon the Chef. I love me some quote unquote Ghostface Killer. I love me gangster 5%ers. However, they were somewhat of the rogue agents of their quote unquote society or their tribe or their nation. Right? They had, I told people the story before. When I was locked up, I was in 1993, C-74. The illest nigga in the jail was Godbody. His name was Fruit Kwan. And they used to have to walk him around with mittens on, shackled down. And he was still, and with two captains with white shirts and a golf cart. They would have to escort him to the visiting floor and everywhere. And he still was cutting people. He was dangerous. So the God bodies get busy, right? The God bodies get busy. You know what I mean? The God bodies was moving crack, my niggas. So, you know, they got Nation of Islam people that bodied shit and throughout life. They came from bodying. You know, some of them came out of the murder game, and then they got righteous behind the wall, and then they came home and lived a great life free of any type of negativity. Then you might have had certain people that dabbled and dibbled and whatnot. And that's cool. But what 50 Cent is doing on BMF, and I did not see, you have the Supreme Team, God Bodies. I met the Supreme Team when I was a little jit. But I promise you, and I tell people this, they was in Queens. These are fly gods. You know how Griselda, how Westside Gun says fly god? These were the fly gods. These niggas had fuck a 360. They had like 720 waves, right? Salahuddin was somebody who was linked with I don't want to put people's business out there, but a family friend of ours took us to Queens and we saw the Supreme Team. This might have been 89 or 90, right? From through my eyes, I'm a young man. Young people tend to see older people in a different light because of their, just because of their proximity to height and everything. I saw black men who were glowing. That's what I saw. I saw some of the most put together, disciplined, get money Muslim men that I've ever seen in my life. They had on all white. They was cleaner than a whistle. They were militant. They were very courteous to the women around them. And I never seen no shit like that. Even though I grew up with gods in my life and they was gangster, these were gangster gods with money. And it looked different from my height, from where I was. I was like, wow, these are some god bodies. It wasn't the drug. They was not doing drugs. They were selling drugs, but they were glowing. They were glowing. They were on a Sarata Mustaqim. And they were just in a bag. When I was behind the wall, they had Muslim brothers that are glowing and whatnot. They were just on a imam. It's a power thing. It's like discipline, self-mastery, intense studying. A lot of that stuff will bring the God out of you. I don't know what they was into. I don't know what their routine was. I'm just giving you a CNN depiction of what I saw. So for 50 Cent to depict the Moors, I think this is in St. Louis, as some bloodthirsty. Let's just go to the clip and then we'll talk about it. Y'all like, what is he talking about? I was just queuing it up, but check this out.
Who the hell are you? Would you change all the locks in my house?
It sits on ancestral grounds. It's our birthright. And everything built on top of it belongs to us.
You know what? I'm gonna call the damn police.
The Great Seal Moors recognize no human authority. Now remove yourself from my porch or be buried underneath it.
That's what you get for pulling triggers, Money Mo.
Like, for real, bro. That's what we're doing on BMF. I didn't even catch the season because I'm not feeling just the whole. I'm just not feeling the whole movement no more, right? So I don't even waste my time. I don't even really have time like that. I don't know how people be having time to watch 444 in the chat. Check it out, 444. Bleh. I don't know how people even find the time to like watch some of these shows. No judgment or nothing. Or no, I'm just curious because I don't have the time. This is the last season of BMF, and he's depicting these Moors like that. And I'm like, it would be respectful if they were to show a balance. And like I said, I don't know, but it was told to me that though this is a true story on some dirty Moors that were active back in those days. I'm just like, okay, shit. Well, if that's how y'all gonna, but that's a dangerous depiction of the quote unquote Moors, to give them to the world, to show them to people, who don't know anything about these men walking around with fezzes and whatnot and what they represent. They get tied into BMF. That's not. He couldn't do that to the Hasidics or the Hasidics and whatnot. I'm sure he couldn't, depict certain other movements like that. So he does stay on some ignorant shit. He does stay on some ignorant shit. But you don't introduce the Moors to the public like that. No, that's what I'm saying. Not based off of the names that I just called out. Were there Moors that were squatting on people's property? Were there Moors that were doing paperwork parties? Were there Moors who were like doing dumb shit in life? Yeah, you damn right there was. But that doesn't subject them to be quote unquote ridiculed like that in a public space. And I've never seen 50 Cent show any type of favorable depiction of any one of our knowledge, our schools of thought or knowledge. He doesn't exude anything of quote unquote the fifth pillar of hip hop. He has very good business, 48 laws of power, win in Rome, be a Roman type of energy. That's what you get out of 50. He will help you navigate the chessboard and play that shit like a black Roman. He's good for that. You know what I mean? He's good for that. He has instincts. Curtis has some good instincts when it comes to moving in rooms full of vultures, right? But he is not like us. He is not like us, and he does not stand for the betterment. And he has the movie studio in quote unquote, whatchamacallit, in Shreveport. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. We need spokesmen who could delegate sit downs. There should be no black comedian, actor, billionaire, millionaire. There should be nobody that's out of the quote unquote sphere, or there should be nobody beyond reproach in our culture who one of our conscious we need a spokesman. We need a figurehead. We need somebody who can go like how Farrakhan could sit everybody down. We need that. That's what we need. You said, isn't 50 Boule? I think he's Foule. I think he's Foule. More than being Boule, 50 Cent is a Foule. You know what I'm talking about? But we need somebody that's like a spokesman. There was people thinking that Dr. Umar was a good spokesman because he is an orator and he has a quote unquote kingly presence. He's a Leo, right? That he was being quote unquote, there was people that was saying Polite's name before. There was a lot of names that have gotten thrown out there where they like, yo, we need somebody who could pull up on these celebrities and have a fucking sit down so they could get checked. So they could get checked. Because they're going to continue to move around and do dumb shit like that when they don't think that they could get checked. And there's no one that they have to answer to. It's too dangerous to be moving like that, moving forward. It's very, very much too dangerous. You feel me? Does it have to be a male? It doesn't have to be anything. It should be both genders. It should be both genders. We need the big mama energy. We need the crone energy. We need the bruja energy. We need the big mama energy. And we also need the energy of the sister who went and taught us about the tree. You see how she's a nurturer? There's a video with her where she was teaching. I thought that was a video where she was teaching a young brother about the quote unquote lynching. Let me see if I have it here. She was teaching a young man about it. I thought that was the video that I had uploaded. But our sisters could get across to our brothers in a very nurturing way. You know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be quote unquote, trying to get at her. Right? Vicky Diller type of energy. We do need that. Because the mothers, Big Mama got to check Big Papa. Because Big Papa, who don't have to answer to nobody, as we can see, is like a bull in a china shop. It's uncontrollable. We need balance. And balance comes from having 2 arms and 2 legs. And the last time I checked with the Voltron lion, there wasn't 2 greens and 2 fucking blues. It was a green, a red, a yellow, a blue, and a black. So that's Big Mama, her daughter, Jaguar right energy, nigga, Jaguar paw energy, not Jaguar right. We need Jaguar paw energy. Women apply wisdom to knowledge. Right. When we have meetings with these people, we need them to be read before we even sit down with them. We need an energy reading. We need an aura reading. We need their birth charts to be read right in front of them. Shit like that. They need to know when they sit down, they're going to be peeled back like a banana. Too many people are hiding behind a quote unquote, these quote unquote masks that they wear, hiding behind titles, hiding behind self-anointed titles, hiding behind their cults and whatnot, hiding behind their celebrity, hiding behind their ego. All of that should be stripped down when we are putting somebody on a hot seat. Nigga, the emperor has no clothes. You will stand before us completely naked. We should put niggas on truth-telling shrooms and whatnot, and then have a meeting with them, and then interrogate them, and ask them all questions, and they can't lie. You know? But I'm not feeling all of that, depicting our people as lames and whatnot when you lame yourself. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't feeling it. So let's check this out.
Why you're not blowing up on social media is because you're still posting like you're on social media, but social media doesn't even exist no more. That ended like 3 years ago. You don't see people that you follow on your timeline no more. You see stuff that you're interested in. You're in a thing called interest media, where your algorithm is going to serve you the stuff that you're interested in, not the stuff that you follow. What does that mean? You need to stop trying to stay on brand, stop trying to stay in a niche, stop trying to be in a box. People don't care about your box. In fact, you're better if you start talking about 15 different things at the same time. That way you'll pop up on 15 different algorithms. There's no such thing as flooding your timeline no more, because if you're talking about something that the people you follow aren't interested in, then it ain't even gonna pop up on their timeline.
So that's just some game, right? I had a great meeting with some of my quote unquote content creators and my clippers the other day, and you know, we are going to be diving feet first into this thing called social media, right?
Tina said about the.
We're gonna be diving in.
You're not crazy. You're just being rage baited. Division
Hold on,
attention.
check this out.
Crazy. You're just being rage baited. Division drives attention, attention drives eyeballs, and eyeballs drive dollars. Welcome to our Rageomics era, where scrolling feels like a part-time job, and outrage became the product because it generates more dollars than the product itself. Attention at all costs empowered scamming creators and desperate brands, all peddling outrage for scraps of engagement. This isn't new. Old media ran the same playbook.
So rage baiting, right? Everything taking place with the Epstein is a rage bait. Everything going on with him going after Obama is a rage bait. Everything dealing with Palestinians starving and all, that's rage baiting. We are in the Rageomics era where you are so desensitized that you have to get jolted by these rage baiting. Every day you wake up to somebody, they beat down a white woman and they at the jazz club, they had the white woman got knocked out and all of that. That's rage. Then there's the gender wars. That's rage. Then the T app got linked. That the T app came out. Niggas is getting blown up. Then it got hacked. Then they licenses got leaked, and it's a bunch of tortas. That's rage. All of these rage. You know what I mean? Is they rage baiting people, feeding off of your energy, sticking you into a certain type of algorithm. Like homie said in the video before that, you literally have to post into multiple niches in order to be seen and be heard. You almost got to break out of the box or the echo chamber and start doing way different shit. Like, yo, I'm going to just start making videos about skateboarding and surfing and whatnot, just to take myself out of this invisible algorithmic jail that they have me in, or this echo chamber. Let's continue with this video.
They just called it news and tabloids, and it decimated trust. Now we swapped cable networks for brands and creators, but the playbook is still being used. You have two options. One, fall in line and sell your soul for cheap dopamine. Or two, build something worth paying attention to. The ones that win don't chase attention, they build mind share.
So mind shares, he's going to drop. I want you to write this down and study it. These little clips be gems. They be filled up with gems. These are like Pop-Tarts. You know what I'm talking about? These little 1-minute videos are like Pop-Tarts. They fill with a lot of good gems on the inside. Check this out, what he talks about. But think about the brands that you're seeing build. And these brands are, quote unquote, they speak. Like you could look at the Tyler shit and just that brand, that picture right there with the glass hat, him with the gazelles on. You know, he built that whole brand real quickly. Right? That persona that he's pushing and whatnot, attached to an album, attached to a tour, attached to people dancing, attached to all type of shit, just like that.
Mind share is what keeps you top of mind. It makes people come back. It makes people talk about you, and it makes people see themselves in you. And most importantly, it makes them feel something. Attention is cheap, but at the end of the day,
mind share, right? Not to toot my horn and whatnot. That's what we do over here. We are a mind share brand. Know the Ledge, Blue Pill, Red Pill, Black Magic. We're mind sharing. We're not just trying to get your attention. We're not out here, you know what I'm saying? We're not out here gossiping. We're not doing reaction videos. You know what I mean? We're not doing loud shit. We're not doing streaming and whatnot. We're not doing IRLs and, 20 V1s. No, we're doing mind shares. Mind shares.
mind shares power. And that's how you live in people's heads rent free. And it makes people see themselves in you. Paying attention to. The ones that win use. You have two options. One, fall in line and sell your soul for cheap dopamine. Or two, build something worth paying attention.
So falling in line, cheap dopamine, right? Cheap dopamine is I'ma just log on to watch the girls on Baddies fight. I'ma just go on TikTok and get my hee-haws on niggas acting niggerly. I'm gonna watch people. I'm gonna watch this 600-pound girl eat some fucking lobsters and whatnot on some headphones turned up to 10, mad loud. I'm gonna put it on a Bluetooth so I can hear people eating Pop-Tarts. You know what I mean? You know, that's dopamine hits. I'm gonna go on OnlyFans and watch some boobs and whatnot. That's a dopamine hit. I'm gonna go and watch the best of Hulk Hogan and whatnot. Matter of fact, before I even forget, how can I forget this? You know what I mean? It would almost be criminal for me to not show y'all this one right here. Where the fuck are you at, Terry? Come in, Terry. Let me see. Where you at, Terry? And I'm looking for whoever got this pack. You know what I'm talking about? If you have possession of this, please send it to my P.O. box. You know what I mean? I will smoke him on air.
Crazy, bro. He just died 2 days ago and he in a pack already. That's crazy, bro. But guess what? We smoking on him. To this day. This shit is crazy, bro. He just died 2 days ago and he in a pack already. That's crazy, bro. But guess what? We smoking on him. To this day.
Niggas got the Terry Runts in the hood, man. You gotta give it up to the hood, bro. They stay on top of shit. They got the Terry Runts in the hood. God damn it, man. What the fuck? What the heliante? So let's get into the music real quick. Let's get into some of the music segment, right? Kendrick said, watch the party die. Kendrick said, watch the party die. And die the party did. All right, check it out.
From the outside looking in, everybody always has this, we got to go to Atlanta to make it.
Because our 2 is y'all 8.
So what happened to make it a 2?
The deaths.
Right.
The beefs.
Right.
The indictments.
Got you.
The disconnect between the artists and the DJs. Once those artists took off, and some of the DJs that didn't make it, that still DJing, stopped giving a fuck about artists and started taking shit personal, saying like, I'm not doing this shit no more. I'm just going to play who hot. The sections dominating the dance floor. ruined Atlanta because a lot of the fun that was being had was on the floor.
Yeah.
And if you was that nigga, you was able to get on stage.
Right.
The stage was the section.
The section, yeah.
I don't see a lot of unity amongst a lot of the new artists. I'm not seeing them outside either. I'm not seeing them do the circuit where they moving around and networking through the city. So that made the city die down a lot, bro. You know what I'm saying? And amongst all, the Dirty Boys broke up, man.
I remember talking about, this is the beginning of the Stone Mountain trips. This is the first Stone Mountain trip was 2022, I think. 2023. I was like, yo, that Atlanta shit is dying. And niggas was like, what you mean? I was like, fam, I'm standing on top of Stone Mountain overlooking Atlanta. The music scene is gonna die. I even remember going on top of the mountain and I did a speech in front of it was the second Stone Mountain gathering, hundreds of us. And I said, this shit gotta come to an end now. And right after that, Young Thug got locked up. And you got to remember, they had to sanitize the energy of Atlanta because it was a thick, when I say a thick death spell, I'm talking about the bitch was a blanket the same way that China has smog. It was a death spell on Atlanta when we got out here. It was black magic in the city before black magic was in the city. You know what I'm talking about? It was black magic in the city before black magic was in the city. Keep in mind, when they went to arrest Young Thug, he was killing a goat. So they are doing the traditional systems, but they doing it the nigga way in Atlanta. Okay, they got the drug dealers, they got the trap niggas, they got the shooters, they got the murderers, they got the strippers, they got the human traffickers, and they have a lot of the dark energy people tapping in, and they throwing spells, they doing all type of shit, bro. This is the #1 human trafficking hub in America. In America. So imagine the type of magic or the dark magic that's going on in them fucking basements, in them dungeons, in them warehouses, all up and down, in the mansions, in them Airbnbs. It's wicked out here, bro. So I was like, something got to change. We gotta change the energy. And we started doing the work. What is the work? You stand on some shit and you stand on it. We stood on Crystal Mountain and we stood on business, and things started to change. Shit got to fall in order for things to come up. I you know, it is what it is. But I know wherever I go, if I'm gonna domicile somewhere, it's almost like spring cleaning, you know, and you see that the energy is off. It ain't where you from, it's where you at. It ain't where you from, it's where you at. So we had to push back, and we had to put our energy, and we had to speak it into existence, and we had to move around the city and do what it is that we do. You know what I mean? To try to bring balance and whatnot, to try to bring a little bit, to try to resurrect some culture, to try to breathe some quote unquote life into this conscious community out here. And, you know, it has its challenges. But the music shit is dead. That whole fucking scene is finished. And I'm talking about it's finished. Whatever rises out of its ashes, I hope that it's going to be something that's familiar with Outkast did, familiar with Goody Mob did. You feel me? This is a heavy Boule town, and some of the people that you think are down for the people, they are part of that Boule, Oaks Bluff. You know, the niggas that go to Martha's Vineyard. No disrespect, because I'm going to Martha's Vineyard. I'm going to Martha's Vineyard, and I'm going to live my best life. But, you know, the Boule runs Atlanta, you know? And it was at a point where niggas like Young Thug and the Boule were in the same building together, or like the same parties. And the niggas that knew money was getting too close to that Boule money. And something had to change. And they activated Fanny and certain other things. And they made that, they created a separation. So so seeing all of them in the same spot, you don't see that no more. them people kind of, the boule and the old money of Atlanta, they're not mixing with these niggas from Cleveland Avenue and Cleveland, and they're not trying to mix and mingle in certain places with them. They'll give you Jeezy orchestra. You niggas go dress up and listen to fucking Jeezy with an orchestra. You know what I'm saying? That's what they you could stay there. You'll be with Andre. You'll be with the mayor, Andre Dickinson. You know, y'all get on y'all, you know, as cultural as y'all could get. That you know, it's trap me. You know, y'all could go to the museum, the trap museum. But that old money, this tapped in with the liberals and certain other type of, you can't. No, they drew a line. They drew a line. You know, they drew a line. So let us see something. This video is kind of startling, but let's see what this sister has to say.
Facts, but you can't sound and talk like this and get no king, just street niggas. I like street niggas. Don't get me wrong to think that I can't get a king. Y'all kings is unattractive. Y'all niggas ugly. On me, let's keep it honest. All y'all niggas that want to treat me right, I don't like y'all niggas. I'm not one to settle. I'm not settling. Bitch, you gonna look good. When you beside me, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm sorry. I could find good niggas, but those good niggas be ugly niggas. On me. Them niggas that's gonna treat you the way you want to be treated, they ugly. You don't like them niggas. I'm not settling. Fuck you talking about? You gonna be a trick. You're not finna be my man. I don't give a fuck. So if that gonna leave me unhappy, I'm finna be unhappy. I'm gonna be happy as shit with the money that I make.
Now here you go being messy, play. You being messy.
So keep in mind, I played the clip earlier about the pineal glands being destroyed. If you really want to keep it a buck, a lot of that crazy shit that these girls is on, that's like, you know, it really escalated post 2020 after WAP came out, right? After Cardi and Megan got together and made the anthems for women with waterfalls. And I'm talking about, called it WAP. But definitely after the knuckle draggers were convinced from Dr. Fauci, because they listen to anything that white people say. Let's be clear. You got to be able to separate the brain dead amongst us from those that are not brain dead, right? But these brain dead types, right, they have flocked to what we would identify as our open enemy, and they are susceptible to any type of experiment that these people put on them, right? On some old Who Cloned Tyrone type shit. They'll eat the foods that they give them. They'll take the drugs. They'll go under the knife. They'll get the augmentations. Anything that the medical industry rolls out, they're into all of that. They are the quote unquote guinea pigs for all of that. City Girl, Young Miami, JT, they were the ones who planted the seeds. They seeded, they laid out the Terminator seed, the Roundup, right? They were the ones who fertilized with the Roundup and the Terminator seeds. Nicki Minaj watered the lawn, right? Nicki Minaj watered the lawn, or she was the hoe. They kind of like, you know, the garden hoe. I'm not calling nobody, Mr. Petty, sir. She was the garden hoe that basically, you know, tilled the soil, right? After she tilled the soil, JT, Young Money, because remember early City Girls? Who remembers early City Girls? When they were shopping at City Trends. Who remembers early City Girls where they was looking like city trend models, right? So they were the ones who basically were the seeds, and whatever grew out of the soil became the Meg Thee Stallion, Glorillaz, and Pluto. You know what I'm saying? And all of the young ratchets that we're seeing right now that are growing, that are going super mellow. Mellow, what's the girl out of Chicago who they killed her sister and her brother and all of them, and she's still trying to go after the ops? You know what I mean? Kodak Black's baby mama, Sexy Red, Sukiyana, Ice Spice in them. All of them are the trees. Lotto, who was calling herself Mulatto. Just alone, you should get flogged for, if you came out the house and you put your name Mulatto, Yellow Mellow Bucks. What was Kodak's baby moms that washed him up? What's Kodak's baby moms that I heard that song. I had to take a shower. It was so disrespectful. All of that, those are all of the seeds that grew out of that motherfucking tree. But that's what you're seeing with that. I think that's almost like the residue or the effect of the Jabberwocky. Them girls, they pineals got destroyed with that shot. I don't know if we could even bring half of them back across the motherfucking border with us. You know what I mean? A lot of them are kind of gone, and the men too, of course. But like Black Doc said on his show, we looking at zombies. Straight up and down. The men ain't safe. Let's get at these niggas.
This is talking about something, man.
All right.
I'm getting up in age. I'm 35.
Mm-hmm.
Let Slim Thug be a cautionary tale.
All right, let me get back on track. So I'm sorry.
Let
me get right. All right.
You know where I was going.
Yeah, I know you was going with that, but all right, let's go.
Don't be an old weird nigga.
Facts.
Just don't do that. Okay, here's the thing. It's just like anything else in life. You're going to have a prime. There's going to be a prime time for you to get them draws. Once that prime is over, I mean, it's almost like they can smell it on you. You ain't got it no more. And it ain't the looks. It ain't the money. It's you. Nigga. It's you. They don't want to be in the Rolls Royce with the old weird nigga.
Facts.
Fuck that Rolls Royce. Dre and Lex had you on the show, Poor Minds. What you up there? Y'all don't want me? Sir, granddad. It's AARP time.
Yeah.
It's time, brother.
It's time.
It's time to start thinking about retirement. Every time Meg Thee Stallion move a muscle, he on her. She's 20 years younger than you, dog.
Yeah.
Tighten up. Tighten that up.
Now look who creeping, look who crawling, still balling in the mix.
This is something I want to talk about.
What?
I want to have a conversation about this, and Slim Thug is a perfect example of this. Once you approach 50 and your name is attached to your career, it's time to start pulling out that government.
Yeah.
It's time to go by the government name. Look what Lil Bow Wow did. He dropped that. Shad Moss.
That's who he is.
Yes, that's who I am.
He can't be Lil Bow Wow forever.
Can't be Lil Bow Wow. You can't be Slim Thug and you're 50. This is why nobody wants you.
Cut that damn beard.
Yeah, the beard is crazy.
Beard is nasty work.
I mean, it could do some trimming, like, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
You know what? I say if he was to throw on a cowboy hat, would really pull that look together.
You just gotta get in his Texas bag.
Yeah. He gotta go all the way Texas.
He gotta get 50.
With a beard like
He
that.
gotta get 50.
Yeah.
Texas,
cowboy hat, nice tight jeans.
I mean, I'm gonna say it like this: some old niggas have no problem, but he's not one of them.
You're not one of them. That's the thing. That's the issue.
Yeah.
44.
He's 44. Okay, he's not that old. He's not that old.
He acting old.
Yeah, he's acting
He
old.
acting washed.
Yeah,
you and you are.
He's
but
washed.
the thing is, yeah, you are washed.
He do know how to keep his bag right, but he's acting. Oh, he's really acting on some weirdo unk shit. I'm gonna keep it a buck. The way that he's obsessing over that girl is weird, bro. It's weird. You know what I'm talking about? But check this out. Check out what Shis is saying. We getting some pushback. Check this out.
Actually never dated a street guy that was very protective. It's a complete myth that they're more masculine. There's some kind of fetish with street dudes because we mistake them as being more masculine. I really wish that women would stop putting street dudes on a pedestal. You see how Glorilla's song, she was talking about the type of dude that she wanted because she's selling you an illusion. And don't get me wrong, I love that song. I like Glorilla. But she is romanticizing and sexualizing the type of guy that you keep saying that you don't want. If we actually held ourselves accountable for the type of men that we chose, I don't think we would keep romanticizing men that are in survival mode. I've actually never dated a street guy that was very protective. It's a complete myth that they're more masculine and more protective, and they're actually more combative, and they lack a lot of emotional maturity because they're in survival mode. They're not trying to love you. I don't care how many Black movies that they create where the love is so toxic, and then for some reason, especially in the Black community, we romanticize these toxic relationships.
Hold on, she not finished. Let her cook. Let her cook. She ain't finished. Let her cook. You know what I'm talking about? Let her cook.
And then we romanticize these guys and say that we want this Russell Wilson, Sierra type of love, but we're never going to get there if we keep talking about we want a hood dude. Especially if you're not a hood chick. They see you as naive and gullible. Don't let the hype fool you where they're like, oh, you're wifey material because you speak a certain way and dress a certain way. The only difference is that hood chicks know exactly what type of time a street dude is on. There is nothing that you'll understand about a person that can analyze, observe you, and know how to get what they want from you because where they're from, there's less resources. Their survival mode makes you navigate differently through life. And I know this because I've experienced this. If you don't come from struggle, the way you view the world in relationships are just different. So if you're from the suburbs and you speak a certain way, you have a certain disposition and demeanor, trust me, you do not align with no street dude, and they see you as silly and naive.
Somebody said, yo, bro, change the topic. I think that this is a good topic to have a discussion about. I don't want to run away from the conversation. I'm a conversationalist, right? I like to have the uncomfortable conversations and get to certain type of solutions and whatnot, because, you know, it's all about narrative at the end of the day. It's all about narrative at the end of the day. But all of these videos that I'm showing you, all of them are a direct result of the culture that we are all immersed in, called hip hop incorporation. It is not higher infinite power healing our people. That's not what we are in. We're not in that whip. You know what I'm talking about? That's not the car that we're in. We're in hip hop incorporated. A hip hop that's been taken over and incorporated by the industry, by the quote unquote, by somebody who don't have our best interest at hand. Let's get into a little something, right? Let's get into the frequency wars. You know what I'm talking about? Once again, I told y'all this is Win Agency. This page right here is my Whitney Webb, my melanated Whitney Webb and whatnot. This sister right here, her pen is dangerous. I dropped the link for the story right here. Make sure y'all subscribe to her Substack, to her page, because she's doing this for us. She's writing for us. This is we don't have a lot of journalists left. We don't have a lot of quote unquote. I used to read the Source magazine and Double XL just for stories like this. This is what's missing, and this is what's needed. I'm actually going to start looking for some creators so we could translate these articles and these blogs into video essays. If that's you and you in the audience, you should reach out to us so we could get this ball rolling and whatnot. Hip hop's frequency war, from consciousness to chaos, beats over bars, how hip hop soundscape went from uplift to upheaval. Hip hop frequency war, from consciousness to chaos. Hip hop was never just music, it was revolution, born from the ashes of systematic oppression, economic neglect, and cultural erasure. It gave a microphone to the voiceless. Early pioneers like Grandmaster Flash, Public Enemy, and Tupac used the genre as a weapon of truth, exposing police brutality, racial injustice, and the struggles of inner city life. Their lyrics were battle cries, their beats the heartbeat of resistance. But somewhere along the way, the message got distorted. Today, mainstream hip-hop often glorifies violence, materialism, and self-destruction. The same art form that once empowered the marginalized now frequently reinforces the very cycles of trauma it sought to dismantle. Why? Some blame corporate greed. Others point to cultural shifts. But what if the manipulation runs deeper? What if these frequencies embedded in modern hip-hop are designed to keep listeners agitated, distracted, and emotionally unbalanced? The 440 Hertz conspiracy, a weaponized vibration? In 1939, the American music industry standardized concert pitch at 440 Hertz, replacing the older 432 Hertz tuning found in classical and ancient music. So let's look at history from 1939 moving forward and see what has changed, what has digressed and whatnot. What kind of entropy do we see in society? How did it fall or did it uplift? Right? Because that was a huge proponent. That was a shift right there from the 40s and up. Proponents of 432 Hertz argues that it resonates with the natural vibrations of the universe, promoting what? Harmony and what? Healing, higher infinite power, healing our people. So you won't even have hip hop moving forward unless we bring it back to 432. If we don't have 432, we can't say the acronym higher infinite power healing our people at 440. We're having conflicts of frequency. Okay, we're having conflicts of frequency. It's not, it ain't adding up. In contrast, 440 Hertz has been linked to increased stress, aggression, and emotional dissonance. Nazi Germany allegedly pushed the 440 Hertz under Joseph Goebbels' propaganda ministry to incite tension in crowds. The Rockefeller Foundation reportedly funded its adoption in America, fueling theories of a war on consciousness. So the Rockefellers took what Nazis were doing in Germany and they brought it to America during, I guess, Operation Paperclip after they took over, right? So after they took over, they brought all of their technology and their programs and they fused it into that was the takeover. That was the coup d'etat that took place. It's a bloodless coup. It's a coup, and people talk about it, but not enough. Studies suggest that 440 Hertz elevates your cortisol, which is your stress hormone, while 432 Hertz boosts serotonin, which is your well-being. So cortisol, gray hair, heartaches, heart attacks, high blood pressure, all of that type of stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Fear, cortisol. So they keep us in a perpetual state of fear. They keep us in a perpetual state of quote unquote lower frequency. They keep us in a perpetual state of this frequency prison that they have us in. And they're able to feast off of our looch. They're able to feast off of all of the energy that we emit while they put our people underneath these quote unquote conditions. So when you apply it to hip hop, a genre that's already rooted in raw emotion, right? Raw emotion. That is our spark. The effects of 440 Hertz may be amplified. You give them heavy bass lines, aggressive lyrics, and dissonant melodies that create a neurological feedback loop, reinforcing your anger, your anxiety, and even your depression. Shout out to Rod Wave. All of that emo shit rose up the quote unquote suicide rate. All of that emo shit caused the suicide rate in men to fucking jump. Shout out to NBA Youngboy with the chaotic anger and all of that stuff that raised the murder rate 300% in America. All of these YNs are feeding off of the script. He is slime of the gremlins. That's why I said make America slime again. He's Stripe. My bad. He's Stripe in the gremlins. That's Youngboy for the YNs. It was Vaughn before that, but he slimed them out. The industry rolled, profited from dysfunction. Record labels and streaming algorithms thrive on engagement, and nothing hooks the brain like conflict, shock, and adrenaline. The more extreme the content, the more clicks it generates. This has led to sonic arms race in hip-hop, where artists like incentivized to push darker, more aggressive themes to stay relevant. Aesthetic nihilism, y'all. Drill music, y'all. Beefing, y'all. Beef and rap. They had a whole DVD series that was on BT called Beef, right? It was beefing until it started turning into bodies. Drill rap, with its nihilistic lyrics and haunting beats, often mirrors PTSD-like symptoms in listeners. Shout out to G Herbo going academics, the war between G Herbo and DJ Academics. That needs to be studied. I need some think pieces on that, because both of them are, you know, it's all perspective in that situation. It's all perspective. Trap music's repetitive, high beat per minute, BPM, which is beats per minute, rhythms can induce a trance-like state of numbness or agitation. So you sipping on lean, you sipping on opiates, you drinking liquid heroin, you popping the perks and whatnot. You are underneath a trance. Look at Kodak Black when he gets in his trance. Look at all of the Atlanta niggas in the clubs and whatnot. Look at Young Thug and all of them. They would induce trances, trance-like states of numbness or agitation. Look at the niggas nodding and whatnot when they on them perks and when they on that lean and whatnot. You feel me? They're almost like in theta state. They're not in awakened state. They're somewhat in the middle of that state. So they're easy to program. So when the song is telling them to kill, murder, skeet on a war, that's what the YNs are programmed to do. Henceforth, they won't take off the shiesty and they running on GTA missions. Auto-tune abuse, another form of frequency manipulation. It distorts the natural vocal tones, creating an eerie, disembodied effect. And you wonder why the robots are coming. And you wonder why women are sleeping with robots. People talking about AIs coming to kill us, but you got robots killing women in the crib right now. And I'm not talking about the roles either. I'm talking about damn near half-built robots drilling women. Don't talk to me about AI is gonna come and kill, and y'all letting the fucking robots kill you right now. That's crazy. That's crazy, and it's all generations. You feel me? So where did that come from? So I just don't believe people when they get to talking, because you need more people. I know that the robots are going to take over, and the men are sleeping with sex dolls and shit like that. The counter movement, hip hop's return to consciousness. Despite the industry's push towards dissonance, a growing wave of artists is rejecting the status quo. Andre 3000, once a mainstream rap icon, now crafts experimental flute music rooted in jazz and ambient frequencies. Others like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and No Name infuse their work with spiritual depth, social critique, and higher vibrations. Underground collectives and lo-fi hip-hop producers are also embracing 432 hertz tuning, binaural beats, and meditative soundscapes, proving that hip-hop can still be both revolutionary and healing. Reclaiming the frequency the sonic revolution in hip-hop needs. The battle for hip-hop soul runs deeper than beats and rhymes. It's a war of vibrations. While mainstream music operates at the artificial 440 hertz standard, a frequency some researchers link to increased tension and disharmony. It's cancerous. It's causing cancer. It's fucking with the cells and making them go rogue and whatnot, right? So when you talk about artificial intelligence, all things artificial, artificial body, artificial food, artificial, all of that. It's because the fucking beats and the frequencies are artificial standards. So we live underneath an artificial standard. You want to go back, you get to the 432 and get your ass touching grass and go back in nature. That's what's going to break the spell. But you are in an echo chamber of hertz, of frequencies, and it's affecting your bioelectric field. Your quote unquote auric field is getting collapsed. They're collapsing your wave because the 440 hertz cuts right through that shit. So we got to build it back up with jazz, We got to build it back up with quote unquote operas. We got to build it back up with classical music, jazz, certain reggae songs, golden era hip hop, 432 hertz, binaural beats and whatnot, right? So nature's resonance, a frequency that aligns with the human heartbeat, the Earth's electromagnetic field, and even the patterns of the cosmos. This isn't just pseudoscience, it's reclaiming a music's true power. History shows that sound has always been weaponized, from military sonic warfare to the psychological manipulation of mass media. But hip-hop, born from the struggle of oppressed voices, was meant to be a tool of awakening, not another instrument of control. The bigger picture, hip-hop as a tuning fork for humanity. Hip-hop didn't rise from the Bronx just to entertain. It emerged to recalibrate a broken system. Its essence, the boom bap, the bass, the rhythm, was also meant to realign us with truth. But somewhere along the way, the industry turned it into a weapon of mass destruction, flooding the airways with frequencies of fear, aggression, and numbness. The revolution won't be televised. It'll be felt. Ooh. It'll vibrate in the chest of those who remember that music isn't just art, it's architecture for the soul. Ooh, brother, what is this? Every song is a blueprint for consciousness. Final call, the frequency of the future. Algorithms won't save us. Record labels won't liberate us. The change starts when we realize music is not just something we listen to, it's something that listens to us. It shapes our nervous system. It rewires our thoughts. It either locks us into the matrix or frees us from it. So ask yourself, do you want music that numbs you or awakens you? Do you want frequencies that fracture your spirit or align it? Will you let the industry dictate your vibration or will you reclaim it? The choice is yours. The future vibrates with change. Now, turn the dial. And what I have to contribute to this whole thing, because I'm not about just leaving us with no solutions, check this out. I did what I said I was going to do. And we put the videos, the playlist of red and blue videos on the Hip Hopolist channel. Of course, it's going to start with our music, but in a very soon, you're going to see Cambada's playlist. You're going to see Sarok's playlist. You're going to see all of the God Hops. And this will be a place that you could basically put the music on and go to sleep, or you could have a party, or you could just vibe out. You know what I mean? This is going to be a rest haven for the gods and the goddesses. You know, it already is right now. Go and subscribe to the page. It costs you nothing. You know what I mean? Run up those numbers and whatnot, and please spread it to your friends and to your colleagues, and let them know that we build it and they will come. We built a hip hop YouTube page, a platform, and this is only going to grow. We have the funds, we have the resources, and we have the quote unquote investors to make this an app. We can make this anything that we want. We can make it a website. We can make it an app. We can make it a movement. It all depends on you. We are doing the work, but this is the magic is when we all come together and we make this shit really do what it does, right? That's how this works. This is not an individual. I'm not flexing on people. I'm not an individual who flexes. I'm not here to pop my collar on my people. I'm here to form Voltron. Let's watch this next clip right here, and then we about to get out of here. But check this out.
This is about Tupac's record label that's ran by that white Tom Whaley that pimped my brother's legacy, actually, because of the fact Tupac was murdered. We all know that. Tupac would have wanted, being as though his album didn't come out till after he was dead, he would have wanted for my brother to be credited and paid. not messed over by Tom Whaley and nobody else. As far as Ice Cube's, his record label, he put in his record label put it. Act like you was down with the nation, and you turncoat on my brother. Talking about M-A-G-A. What the M-A-G-A? Some Trump? He ran around Trump deporting everybody. He didn't deport his own public enemy. I don't know where to come from. Trying to use my brother.
So for context, because there may be people like, who's auntie? What's going on with granny and whatnot? That is Khalid, not DJ Khalid, my genius. Khalid Muhammad, the legend, the frontline soldier, right? The quote unquote, you know, one of the illest to ever walk this planet in our generation. The soldier, the warrior, right? He appears on a lot of rap albums in the 90s based off of the shadiness of the industry, where these niggas who know the game won't teach you the game. They won't teach you about protecting your rights and whatnot. Not to say that anybody should be teaching you. This is something that your camp should know. This is something that people around you should basically help you with. But really what's going on, anytime your likeness or your voice, your voice appears on a recording and whatnot, and you're not credited for it, and you're not a part of the quote unquote, you don't have your BMI or your you know, what is that, your IPI locked in with it, you're being robbed, because that is a way to gather some type of recurring money and whatnot. Anytime that you're on the airwaves, you're supposed to be getting paid for it. These artists have utilized the likeness and the voice of Khalid, and they have not taken care of any type of business affairs dealing with his family. Okay, so that's what his sister, who's still alive, is sounding off and cursing these people out. We need somebody, you know, I would love somebody to reach out to the sister and bring some type of you know, alleviation to her discrepancies and whatnot.
Brother Power and wipe out his name. How you going?
What?
Yeah, the Dirty Boys ain't on air. No.
Legend's name. I don't understand that. Somebody please explain that to me. And D'Angelo, I don't know where to come from, especially with a name like D'Angelo and Black Messiah. You probably a black ugly, but you took my brother's speech, his voice, and used 1 minute of it when you shouldn't have used none. So you need to dump like a dump truck too, okay? Pay to the pipe, it's your turn. As far as you coming, you stole from my brother. 11 months ago, you stole from him. And you still trying to steal from him by not rewarding him, crediting him, giving him what's due to him. A hella fine black man.
I would want my sister to ride for me like that. I don't give a F. I want my family to ride for me like that. She's right in whatever. Call them people out. Too many times they have our people afraid to get on into the public. I'm sure that she was trying to be very cordial and patient, but look at Auntie. Auntie is snapping, because I'm sure that she's gotten the phone hung up on her, and people who she really thought was down with her brother have showed this woman that their ass to kiss. And if I know anything about a black woman, especially an elder, when they've had enough, they've had enough. And she sounds like she's had enough, and she's decided to bring this shit to the forefront behind closed doors, out of the quote unquote smoky rooms, where they're very disrespectful and condescending, especially when it deals with publishing and when it deals with your rights.
And you know it. So mother, get up off them high horse, get down low and come on up with the dough.
Back.
This has been going on for decades. And this is the reason for the lawsuit that we have filed, because of the fact that, I mean, everything is just all twisted and fucked up. So I really can't put it in any other aspect other than it's just fucked up, okay? And
people claim that they love Khalid. That's why I'm like, you know, Get what you can get while your ass is breathing, because nigga, I'm here to let you know when you gone, they gonna act fucking funny, and they're gonna run your name through the mud, and they're going to pillage your estates. Get everything that you motherfucking are owed while you breathing, because they was definitely acting like they was down with Khalid when he was alive. There's a lot of people that are new into consciousness, because I put this on my IG page and I was going through the comments, kind of getting triggered and whatnot, because niggas don't even know who Khalid is. You could tell by the comments. My thing is, whatever they say, I'm riding for it, because I already know what type of soldier he was, what type of warrior he was. I'm not going against Khalid's spirit. Because nigga, you got to go to where he's at. He don't got to come to where you at. You eventually going to come across the spirit of a Khalid Muhammad. He going to be chilling with 20 Panthers on the other side, nigga. Get him right while you here. So I'm riding. I'm like, who we got to, I tag them niggas and everything. I'm riding for Khalid. Who else is going to ride for him? We alive. We got to carry on his war. We got to carry on his motherfucking, his march. He's not here. So I would be damned if I let his elderly sister just get out there on their own. I reposted it and I tagged them niggas that she was talking about. Like, what's popping? I tagged Chuck D. I tagged Ice Cube. This is Khalid Muhammad. This is the big homie who would hop out of a Bentley with an AK. He was about that shit for real, bro. He was about that shit. That's why them niggas was clocking to him and they was running behind him. Khalid Muhammad didn't run behind Tupac, fucking Ice Cube, especially in the 90s. Literally, he was bigger than all of them. Ask around. That's how no niggas wasn't outside. He was bigger than them. This is before the superstar era of the rappers. They were all still coming up and whatnot. He was bigger than all of them.
We want it unfucked up. So, you catch my drift? You understand what the fuck I'm talking about? I don't want to have to come find one of you motherfuckers and get in your face and tell you this shit, okay? I'm trying to give you a hint, okay? And as far as the money from the lawsuit, what we want to do is we want to have a black museum, a black resource center, black studies.
Oh, that's it? Okay. I'm gonna find her. I got the sister that was talking about the oak tree. I'm reaching out to her to see if I could get her on the show. And I'm reaching out to Khalid's sister to see if I could get her on the show. I'm on my Phil Donahue, nigga. I'm Philip Donahue right now. You know what I'm talking about? I'm Filthmore Donahue. That's my name. Let me write that down. Filthy Donahue. You know what I'm talking about? That's my name. Filthy Donahue. I want to start a whole talk show where I let people come on here and expose people. Yeah, he was the most hated by the ADL. Khalid Muhammad was the only Negro who got censored by the Senate. You know what that means? When you get censored, they basically are calling you treasonous. He was the only one who got censored. They wanted his head. And rumor has it he got knocked off because his gal, you know what I mean? His gal snaked him. She backdoored him, allegedly. And his son, who is Farrah Gray, is compromised. Allegedly. He don't want nothing to do with his father's legacy. So he's not going to run down on niggas. He's not going to expose them. He's not going to stand on that type of business because he's one of them niggas that don't want to ruffle feathers. You know what I mean? Yeah. The Bobby and Khalid headbutting thing, it's understandable. It's understandable. I get it. But we still riding. You know what I'm talking about? We still riding until some answer. It don't have to be nothing. if there's answers provided, I'm humble enough to say, all right, if you could show receipts and everything is good and his business wasn't right and y'all legally could stand on that, I just want answers before they start running around talking about what other people should be doing. And all. Nigga, let's handle this Khalid shit, bro. That's all I'm saying. So there was something else that I wanted to show y'all that I'm hoping not to forget. We covered a lot tonight, though.
It's crazy, bro. He just died 2 days ago.
We covered a lot.
When is the time?
Oh, shit. And we all coming up on that time. Once again, word from our sponsors. Okay. Erica Badu donated $15K and his son contributed nothing. You understand? You feel me? I don't even want to talk crazy about his son and whatnot, but that shit had me very perplexed in Harlem when I found out that his son was basically used to be on his side, like how I had my son on my side, and his son was ready. He didn't even survive the EYL era. This was a fake financial nigga. He ain't been at the Invest Fest, and this shit is going on 5 years. Like, get your shit together, fam.
What is infinite treasures? Like all things born out of the genius of necessity, infinite treasures in the spirit of the ancient earthkeeper tradition of Kephara, the scarab beetle. We gather all manner of earth relics, high energy hand-picked crystals, stones, minerals, and pure metals, and weave them into sacred geometric forms that elevate consciousness. 30 years of research and development have revealed secrets to creation. Sacred geometry is the structured form of mathematics that brings about manifestation. Laws that manifest on Earth can also transcend through space and time.
Okay, so one day, if it's not Friday, it'll be Saturday or Sunday. We're going to be doing another Zoom with my potential quote unquote clippers, which would be the plug channel, which would be anybody that's out here that wants to get down with this team that we're building an agency, and we're looking for some few good men and women. We are entering into the streaming world. We are also chopping up a lot of the content, and we want to help you monetize some. We're going to show you how to make a few dollars, monetize your page, and get into this plug channel type of thing. I want you to hit that email right there called the Mark125th@gmail. I want you to hit that email right there called the Mark125th@gmail. I want you to tap in with me. It will, it's an hour or two that we'll be on the Zoom. I had a great Zoom meeting with my potentials, about 6 or 7 of us. Everybody was pleased. They understood what was needed of them, and they are ready to ride. What do you put as the subject? Clippers. And I know it's not for Don Sterling or Gilbert Arenas. I know it's not what's my nigga Chris Paul and them. Clippers. I know when you put clippers, I'll know what it means. So let's link up. We do a Zoom call. We'll be doing a Zoom call with the potential clippers. As soon as I get about the right amount of y'all, maybe like 10, then I'm going to create the Zoom, and I'll send out the link a day before, get everybody ready, and then I'll tell everybody what we're gonna do, what we're doing. I'll give you all the insight, but we're not gonna do it on YouTube right now. This will be something that we'll be doing on the Zoom and whatnot. Like I said, coming up on the 15th, you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this. You want to get your crypto bread. You want to tap into that new crypto, the bill that they just signed. You want to understand everything about the crypto laws that they just signed. You want to understand everything about Donald Trump and this new crypto friendly economy, then you're going to want to be in the building on August 15th when we'll do the workshop, 5 hours, called Pay Me in Crypto, featuring Chicago Crypto Block Bully and Stream Chasers Presents. So this is going to be all about the bag. This is all about the Baggington. This is going to be all about the new money matrix, how to get it in the crypto world so you don't sit around on the sidelines watching these niggas celebrate. Because the crypto bros, they're going to be facetious. They're going to act stupid. They're gonna make you sick of them. Remember how the crypto bros was acting a few years ago? And then they had to get humbled by the bear market. Well, yeah, them niggas is back on jet skis and they're gonna be acting stupid this time. I don't want to be on the sideline. I don't want you to be on the sideline. So if you know anything about Block Bully, you know that he's gonna give up the game. So much shit has changed just in 60 days. So much has changed. But he'll be on the show to explain it. Inshallah, maybe on Monday or the next day, whatever, maybe Techno Tuesdays, because technically he is technical. Another commercial, the mark125.com. You saw the video earlier when we were showing you the QR code and the t-shirts was coming alive and whatnot. Well, that right there is on the Mark 125th. We have QR codes embedded in our clothing. We have the technology that Nipsey Hussle was using. We have smart clothing, ladies and gentlemen. Smart clothing for smart people. I would have it no other way. Smart clothing for smart people. I would have it no other way. We want to see you in some smart drip. So go ahead. It's back to school and everything. I know y'all getting y'all drip on. You know what I'm talking about? Back to school. Check it out.
Gil, let me say it this way, and I don't support.
When you scan the QR code, Dr. Ben, on a Dr. Ben t-shirt, you'll see a Dr. Ben lecture. So you're not just wearing the t-shirt, you got a built-in lecture in your t-shirt.
System. But I think that one of the things we have to learn in order for me, or I hope I'm speaking for two gentlemen, and this is for parents, our parents. You can't fight the teacher and learn. There's a discipline in study, and we have to learn. The damage has been done to us and still being done, but we ourselves got to take this. With all the bad things that go in the classroom, and I went through it, you got to be able to count, you got to be able to write, you know what I mean? You got to know science. You got to be able to equate and evaluate. And you can't fight the teacher doing it. Parents can't come down to fight the teacher. That teacher get them out of the neighborhood. We have to go through the principle of educating ourselves. And our parents got to do it. I'm sure your parents did it and other parents did it. There is a discipline we got to go back to. And I've said that the basic thing we have to do is to stop letting the damage, what he's talking about, to continue by saying, I'm not going to the classroom because they're going to say this. You don't have, when you go to the classroom, you don't have racism. Don't care which.
Yes, yes, yes. You feel me? Yes, yes, yes. He started the Umar repeats. Dr. Ben is the father of the Umar repeats. Umar got it from him. He'll tell it to you 4 times and whatnot, just in case you forgot it. Here's the link for the Eventbrite. Here's the link for the Eventbrite. Everybody that gets a ticket tonight, we're going to reward you. We have something special for you. All of my early birds. The ticket prices will be going up, so take advantage of them. The ticket prices will be going up. This is a hot ticket item right here. This one is different. This is going to be packed. This is a movie and whatnot. Shout out to Block Bully and shout out to everybody. I want to say thank you, peace, love, and light to the family. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy tonight. Thank you for your attention. Everybody that got, let's do a roll call on everybody that got a ticket for the block, for the Pay Me in Crypto. Let's get a roll call for everybody that got Pay Me in Crypto tonight. You know what I mean? Salute to all of y'all. We're going to take y'all out of here with the 44 Tops, who also we have a surprise coming very soon. I don't want to speak ahead of myself, but the 44 Tops is about to pop out with something on that ass. You pause. And we have the bundles, right? We have the triple threat workshop. That bundle is available. 3 of our courses are right here. And then we also have the AAA workshop. How many people in the building know about WAP.com? WHOP, WAP.com. I'm about to build a WAP store. How many people are y'all familiar with WAP, right? If you're not familiar with WAP, I would highly suggest that you be a part of that email. Send me the email to be a clipper. The shit is, man. It's so much opportunities out here, y'all. There's so much opportunities out here, y'all. Don't let nobody lie to you. Don't let nobody trick you. Don't let nobody fool you. Don't let nobody, quote unquote, rob you of your blessings. This shit is booming, bro. This shit is booming. And we're going to get it better if we work together versus if we do it singularly. You know what I mean? So I'm going to leave y'all with that. I want to say thank you. Peace, love, and light. And we will see you. What's today? Friday. Tomorrow, Friday, we got class. We got class, Zoom class. AAA workshop is on Friday. Me and Spin City, 8 p.m. only on Zoom. You can get your ticket for this as well. The link is in the description. With that being said, peace, love, and light. I will see you on the other side.
Red, blue, purple light. Red, blue, purple light. Friends, facts. Red, blue, purple light. Red, red, and blue, purple light. Friends, facts. You can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I opened my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.